in the 2K community, and that civil war is strictly between simulation players, aka old heads, and arcade players, aka spammers, cheesers, young heads. And the civil war is strictly based off of the conflict of interest. You see, the old heads, simulation guys, look at the gameplay style of the arcadic young head cheeser and spammers, and they get agitated and angry because the premise of the game that you're playing is the game of basketball. And simulation and old head players respect that premise on its basis, on its foundation. They respect the game of basketball. It's not our fault that this is the only basketball game for us to play. It's not our fault that we grew up watching whatever we watched, playing whatever we played, and now we want to simulate what we see in the game that we're playing. But then you have the young head generation, the arcadic generation, that say things like, this is just a video game. If I wanted to play simulation basketball, I would go and play in real life. If I wanted to simulate actual basketball playing, then I need to get off the game. But in them same sentences, you start to wonder, do you play in real life? You see, because we live in a day and age now where a lot of folks would tell somebody else what to do, yet they don't do it. A lot of people preach, but don't practice what they preach. I have never once told people to go outside and play real life basketball, because I know I'm not gonna do it. So why would I tell you to go outside to play basketball? All I'm telling you, and all I've really been doing on this channel, is either sending you a forewarning and let you know that the things that you do are going to get patched at some point, or I'm just trying to detoxify a community that is so toxic that you don't even smell the whole toxicity coming from you. But it be those same toxic individuals that not only watch a full video that they don't like, leave a comment on it completely missing the premise or the context of the video that they watched because they were triggered. Because they got triggered because the shoe that was made is a shoe that fits their foot, and now they're triggered about it. And we all know you've been triggered before. You've been offended by what somebody said because the shoe fit. You don't even hear, you miss the context of that statement or message that you were saying. You just receive the criticism and you just react to that. That's why the saying is don't shoot the messenger. It's just a message, but don't shoot the messenger. But to get back on topic, the Civil War really just comes down to respecting the game of basketball in its purity form versus this is a video game. Now granted, if I was complaining like this, playing NBA Jam or 2K Playgrounds or NBA The Street Volume 2, then you have every right to tell me it's a game, it's an arcade game, it's meant to have fun. But when I'm playing a game, 2K, that has pro play, that has real life animations, that is a simulation sports game based off of real life, then I have my space to say that this game should be more of a simulation of IRL basketball than an arcadic mess that it is. But see, that's where the Civil War comes. Because if 2K decided to make a simulation only game, then the majority of their crowd would dwindle. And that's because you guys want arcade games. You want to play an arcade game. You want to have a game that allows you to do whatever you want to do and not be stopped. But while you're doing everything that you want to do, if somebody do it to you, the game's not fun. And a lot of times, and it's funny because it's usually the same crowd. You see, I made a video 2 years ago. I want to say two 2Ks ago. In 2K22, that was a hot take. And I said point guards are the reason that this game sucks. And you fast forward to 2K24, and the same rules apply, but it's not necessarily just point guards anymore. See, point guards used to be spammers. They were the cheesers. They were the main spammers and cheesers of the 2K family back in the days. But now it's everybody. You're 1, you're 2, you're 3, your 4, and your 5 all have access to the same dribble moves. Whether it's the hop back 3 with the T-Mac, or the behind the back crab with the Patty Mills, or the T-Mac. Everyone has the same dribble moves now. See, so back then, you only had to deal with guards. Now, you have to deal with everybody, because now everybody's the same height, and all the builds have the same names. You don't know what you're guarding and who you're guarding and what they do. That Joker could be a floor spacing slasher and he'd be at the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 and you wouldn't know. He could be a two-way inside the arc maestro and he could be at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You wouldn't know. Your point guard could be bigger than your center, yet your center plays the 1. Your point guard plays the 2. But we have reached a stage where it's not point guards anymore that make this game the way that it is. It's everyone. It's the community. And the community is divided and the civil war is going on because, like I said, you got sim heads and arcade heads. You see, arcade heads don't want to call it what it is. You guys are arcade heads. You like arcade games. You are the person that goes to video games and you don't respect the premise of the game. You just want to play the video game. But if you wanted to play arcade games, then you should be the one playing the volume 2, the NBA playgrounds, the games that are built off of arcade. But see, you don't, because if a game is built off of arcade, that most likely means that the animations and everything in that game is even to the point where you don't have an advantage. But instead, if I can go ahead and take a simulation game and utilize the simulation animations that are in the game to my advantage by using something that is not realistic in the game, then I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm so good at this game, and people be in the comment section telling me their stats, telling me their win percentage, and yet it does not matter because this community does not care about the integrity of basketball. They don't care that they're playing a basketball game. They don't care that they take 35 shots in a game and nobody else gets to score and nobody else gets to shoot the ball. They don't care, because I realized that being great at 2K makes you great at life. It does. Being great at 2K gives you opportunities to make a lot of money, especially joining the 2K League, which is rumored to be shut down this year, because as much as you guys mimic 2K League gameplay style and you mimic what you see, you don't support it enough. Because how is the league rumored to be shutting down? Now, it's a rumor, but if the league gets shut down, whose fault is that? See, I had no faith in the 2K League when the inaugural season celebrated a guy that did 74 step backs in a game and scored 70 points. They celebrated that man. The games that we play, think about it. These same games that all fall in the same line, y'all. Because the same 3 games that's in your library is in my library, is in 98% of the 2K community's library. Your Madden, your Call of Duty, and your 2K. What do all those games have in common? What they have in common is they're a game whose premise is real life, but everything about the game is arcadic. And because of that, you have civil war between all those games. Real life simulation players versus spammers and people who literally show you that it's a video game. You see, when they showcase these things, and every time they showcase games, they showcase trying to make it a copycat situation of real life animation. Every time you see a trailer of these games, you see how smooth an animation is. Remember when they would, even now when you load up 2K and you actually watch the little Kobe thing and they're showing you the KD step back and the Steph jumpers and the Jason Tatum moves and all that stuff, they're all based off of their pro play realistic animations. But then you start playing the game and then you realize that somebody in here got access to hundreds of animations, yet they utilize 2 and it won't be stopped. Now, is it totally the community's fault? No. 2K has Take-Two, or 2K as the company, they have some work to do on themselves. But you see, they have to pick a hill and die on that hill. You see, they're straddling the fence. They're walking that fine line. They want to be simulation, yet want to be arcade at the same time. And that's why these games have the success that they have, but also have the discussion, the distaste that they have. all these games that walk that line and they straddle that fence, they all have the same issue. You have people starting to get sick of them. You have people getting on Twitter and crying and oh, this game is terrible, this game is trash. And then you got the folks saying, no, you're just trash at it. And well, this is what you get. And because of the civil war that goes on, the company makes money. But if a company decided to die on a hill and they would say, like 2K, if 2K would just come out and admit, we're gonna take simulation things out of the game. We're gonna take the simulation out. We're just gonna be an arcade game. And 2K stop having a selling point of pro play and talking about, oh, we gonna penalize guys who don't have defense and don't have steals and all this other stuff that they do every year, the selling points of every year. You know, oh, we got the new turbo meters to be able to stop people from spam dribbling and all that other stuff. Okay, whatever. The selling points, we get the selling points. But if 2K was to just come out and be like, hey, this year in 2K, you have unlimited stamina. You don't have to upgrade your player. You can make 99 overall, everything. All attributes are maxed out at 99 and everybody just gets to play, and we don't, there's no badges. Every badge you have is on Hall of Fame, and we just come out here and play. Let's just come out here and play basketball. Come out here and play NBA 2K. Us simulation heads and old heads would have to make a choice. We would have to decide, do we want to stand there and deal with that, or do we find something else to play? But instead of 2K picking that hill and picking that side, they straddle the fence. They give simulation heads some advantages and give the arcade people some advantages. And then boom, here comes the Civil War. Here comes the Civil War now, because you got an arcade dude gets cooked by an old head, and the old head's trash. The old head is trash because he's cooking you just off of you being stupid. Because if you really think about it in retrospect, the old head, the simulation crew, the reason why they cook you is because you're stupid. You see, because you're programmed to guard spam. You're programmed to guard somebody dribble behind the back, pick and roll, behind the back, pick, step back, three. You're programmed to guard that. So when you go and get in front of somebody who one dribble step back mid-range, spin step back mid-range, spin Euro layup, spin step back, you jump, step back again, now that's a three. It's not that they're trash, you're trash, and you're programmed. That's what 2K is. And I get it. As a company, it's probably very difficult to pick a side and stand on it. And that's probably why these companies have big developmental teams to kind of even things out. Because yes, simulation games tend to be a lot slower, a lot slow pace, a lot more, the pace is much slower, is much less forgiving. You know, you make a bad mistake or crucial mistake in simulation games, you have to start all over. And that could be frustrating for the majority of a community, of a gaming community. Because yes, everyone has that, I want to get back at it. And that's why we're stuck in this cycle. And that's why every year in 2K and whatever other game that you play, most likely Call of Duty and Madden, whatever, every year that happens, it gets to a point where it becomes the same thing. Because you get sick of it. And now we're here. And every year is gonna be a civil war, because what happens is typically when 2K comes out, 2K caters to the simulation heads. And the sim heads tend to dominate very early in the game, particularly because they know basketball, they know basketball tactics. They're not looking for the best moves and the best jumpers. They're just looking for a way to create space and get a bucket. And typically in the first month of the year, first month of 2K, sim heads are winning. And during all that time, all you gotta do is look on Twitter and look at video titles, and you will see that people are complaining. This game is trash. This game, why is this game like this? This game is no good. You letting the old heads ruin the game. Blah, 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 blah. And then what does 2K do? All of a sudden, things get patched or things get buffed. I remember, I'm not too far from 2K24 to remember, you really had to be very, how should I say, you had to pick your spots a lot when it came to that adrenaline bar, because literally even off ball, if you would hit that turbo, you would lose a bar. And I think that was phenomenal method because it made everything skill based. If I cut, you got to throw this pass because I'm at a disadvantage if you don't. Then all of a sudden they took it away. Now people can sprint around all off ball all game long. Nothing. You also get the content creators. Now, those guys, that's the real problem. That's the root of the cause. That's the root of the problem. Because those guys influence a mass amount of people into doing or believing something that they don't even believe and utilize themselves. But see, if I show you it on a video, you gonna believe that that's what I do. You get what I'm saying? I can make a video right now and I can title it Best Jump Shot for Season 7 of NBA 2K24. And I can put a montage of clips of me hitting contested jumpers, me hitting greens, me dancing, showing you screenshots of me scoring 40. And then I could play a game in low rec or against just bums. And I just take out the overalls, take out all of that, and I just show straight how great that jumper is. Now upload it to YouTube and now you watch it. Show you everything. Once I upload it, now I'll go get on my actual account or my actual player and I play a completely different style than what you see. And now you eating up a ghost. You following a ghost video. I don't even play like that. I don't even do what I do in that video, but see, it caters to you. And it's a smart business move, but it just goes to show you how stupid people are and how everybody believes what they see on the internet. And that's why people tell you the internet's not real. Stop believing what you see. Understand that it's a video. Understand that this video is meant to get views. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get views. That's why I don't upload to you gameplays. That's why this channel doesn't have, well, not anymore. I mean, I did go through my stage, but this channel did not grow off of lying to people. It did not grow off of deceiving people. It's just a man sitting here talking in front of a mic, sharing his thoughts about the things that he experiences in this game. And I happen to relate to a lot of folk. And I put some people off, but that's only because you just fit the shoe that I'm created. I didn't tell you to put the shoe on. You put it on and got mad that it fits. Thanks for the paycheck though, but the civil war is never going to end in this game. In this community, the civil war will never end because 2K will never take a stand and stay on one side. 2K always hints at it. They will always pump fake. They will always please one side of the spectrum at a given time. It's just a matter of the season. Is it your season to win or your season to lose? And once you start to understand that, the game might become a little more fun for you when you understand, like, oh man, season 1 through 4 was the simulation season, and now season 4 through 8 is gonna be all the arcade people, and then spammers get to get up. And then season 9, the last season of this 2K, will probably be the best version of this game you'll ever get, because typically when the new game's about to come out, they get the game prior to the best stage that they can get. And you would think they would carry the momentum, but they don't. All they do is either speed the game down or slow, or they're either going to speed the game up or slow the game down next year. They're going to speed it up or slow it down, change the lighting a little bit, and the spammers are going to suck because there's no guideline of how to be good. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't have basketball knowledge, because that they don't respect the game of basketball in its purity, they're going to suck in the beginning of the year. Every year in 2K, they're going to suck because they don't have any badges. They don't know what the best dribble moves is. They don't know what the best jump shot is. They're gonna suck. And then you're gonna have the simulation people who are just seamlessly transitioning through each game because their skill never gets affected. Then the simulation people end up getting out buffed by the arcade people. Now they start to get their badges. The videos start to come out, best jump shot, most broken jump shot, most best dribbles, and now we're back in the same cycle over and over again. But the civil war never ends, so you just gotta pick a side. Pick a side, stay on that side, understand the pros and the cons of your side, and understand that the game will cater to you at some point while also giving it to you on another point. But hey, do what y'all been doing. Leave comments, leave likes, and have discussions in the comment section.